Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should know. May sound strange, might sound foolish, but things ain't getting better. Every day another fall victim to the beretta. Why is there so much violence killing we one another? Let us learn to love and let that light shine brighter. Bad influence you influence the youth, them get slaughtered. As bad man used to be, them respect the father. It's like no eyes don't realize the times get harder. Me talk all night with all my might and still is laughter. Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man?
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. You are listening to The Proven Truth. You are tuned into The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. Coming to you live from the studios of Radio Gumbo Creole, here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a hot one here, family. It's a hot one here. And to my brothers and sisters all over New Orleans, look, keep yourself hydrated, get yourself some water, not too much beer, you know, for all of you guys who still having, who still celebrating because of, we call that social event essence, more poverty. However, beer cannot do it. Beer won't cool the thirst. You need to drink some water and keep yourself hydrated, my brothers and sisters. All right, it's a hot one here. And we need to make sure that we are still around come tomorrow. You feel me? Comes tomorrow is another day. We got things to do. And you know we do it. Yes, brothers and sisters, it's another God-given day. It's another God-given day, and you're tuned in with your brother and host, Anthony Brown, coming to you live from the studio of Radio Gumbo Creole, here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Look, to participate in the show, to let your voice be heard, to tell your truth. I feel you, boy. It's all love. Look, it's all love. We only have one life to live in, and we're gonna live it to the fullest. Oh, my brothers and sisters, to participate in the show, 504-303-8922, 504-303-8922. To listen to us, 712-432-7883. You can also, that's from your device of choice, you know, on your phone, inside your car, in your car stereo. You just plug that jack in, that USB jack to your any device, and you can listen to us by dialing 712-432-7883. You can also check us out on the web by going to RadioGumbocreol.net, RadioGumboCreole.net. We live stream this and every show on the Facebook. You can check us out on the Facebook by going to Anthony Brown for Assessor, ASSESSOR 2017. Where you can participate on the show. You can ask a question, you can leave a comment, you can come on the show as a special guest. Look, we don't edit, we don't vet, we don't preclude anyone from coming on to this show and let your voices be heard. More so when you are challenging us. More so when you are challenging us, or you feel to yourself that anything that we are saying on this program is factually, listen to what I'm saying, listen to the word, factually false. If you can prove that anything that we are saying here is factually false, call us out. Call us out, man. Let John Public hear that we are speaking something or we are saying something that is factually false. Don't wait until the show is over. Then you're gonna send me an email. Oh, Anthony, look, I never want to disturb you, but you said something that, man, look, I don't want to hear that. I delete emails like those. You won't call me out, so John. Look, I'm speaking so that the world can hear me. We have people listening to us in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Trinidad and Tobago. We have people listening. I'm talking about the viewing audience, listening to us, right? We have people listening and viewing us all over North America. Whatever I say it out here on this open forum. So if you're going to criticize, or if you no, let me take that word back, criticize. If you can prove that I have said something here and the ear that is factually false, come on the ear, call me 504-303-8922. Come on to one of these platforms, Facebook or the YouTube, so that other people can see you and hear you when you challenge or when you correct whatever mistake it is that your brother say. You feel what I'm saying? Do it in open, do it out in the public, man. No, we don't operate behind closed door. We refuse from operating behind closed door. And if we're gonna entertain you, we want the world to know that we did. Look, let me tell you something. You will be doing us a favor by calling us out for what we have said that was factually false. You'll be doing us a favor because what? We then going to refrain from saying what we did, or make the statement that we did that was factually false, and then we will go and do some more research, right? Or if we need to, we will apologize if we offended anyone. We will apologize, and if the case arise, we will also pay restitution. Look, we ain't thin-skinned. No, we human beings just like everybody else. And maybe we will say to you that today is Sunday and actually today is Monday. You know what I'm saying? We can make a mistake. I guarantee you it ain't gonna happen. But again, you can check to my Facebook family, my Facebook viewers, much love. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day, this hot day, just to listen to this. So never gun talk his mouth off, huh? You can also check us out on the YouTube. We are live streaming on the YouTube, and we've been doing so for the past month and a half, something like that. And to view us on the YouTube, you can go to the THE Proven Truth, the Proven Truth. Look, we'll talk about the proven truth, and we're talking about what's the truth. What is the truth, the proven truth? What we're talking about? Is it Anthony Brown truth? Is it your truth? Whose truth is it? When we speak about the proven truth, family, what we are talking about, that which is constant with facts and reality. Let me say it slowly. That which is constant with facts and reality. When we speak about the proven truth, that simply mean we won't be speaking on any issue on this show and this station if we cannot prove it to be factual. If we cannot prove it to be factual, or if we cannot state the source of our look, we ain't CNN, this ain't CNN or NBC or any of the mainstream media. We will quote our sources to anybody who want to listen to us or want to challenge us. And if we make a statement, we're gonna say, okay, you can go find it in the law book. We might tell you which law book, or we might tell you where the closest law library is. Right? Or we might quote you, we might tell you if the information come from a publication, we might tell you which publication it is, or if the information came from somebody actually speaking it verbatim, we will tell you the event, the place, and the you know. Look, we will tell you if we should ask. We're seeing in the mainstream media who make statement and they tell you unidentified source. No. We gonna tell you. So call us out, man. To my family, my friends, well, to the viewers on YouTube, much love, much love, much love, much love, much love. We appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to this son of a gun speak his mind. That's what we do here. We speak our mind. All right? But when we speak our mind, understand the concept where it's coming from. It is coming from this document right here. Can you see it? This is a pocketbook version of Who Is Your Daddy? The United States Constitution, created back in the 1700s by the founders of the United States. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States. Who is your daddy? Who is your daddy? Not me. I'm your daddy. Huh? That's what your mommy tell you? That Anthony Brown is your daddy? She lying to you. Oh my God, this is just... Look, one guy, look, I'm having too much fun, you know. I should be paying somebody to... Hey, I'm supposed to be paying them guys having so much fun. All government of right originates with the people, is founded on their will alone, and is instituted to protect the rights of the individual and for the good of the whole. Its only legitimate ends are to secure justice for all, preserve peace, protect the rights, and promote the happiness and general welfare of the masses, the people of Louisiana. Who is your offspring? You follow me? Ambition is the degree, no, ambition is the desire to go forward and improve one's condition. It is a burning flame that lights up the life of the individual and make him see himself in another state. To be ambitious is to be great in mind and soul. To be ambitious is to be great in mind and soul, to want that which is worthwhile and strive for it, to go on without looking back, reaching to that which give satisfaction. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The philosophy and opinions of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, that great black ancestor, that great humanitarian, that great champion of all, that great African descent brother, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Look, family, you know here, we are in the proven truth. We are black conscious, not black ignorant. We are black conscious, not black ignorant. And because we are black conscious, we recognize the fact that what we were fighting for centuries ago, decades ago, to some extent we have received some of those privilege that we were fighting for back in the day. Back in the day we could not vote. Back in the day we could not hold public office. Back in the day we could not acquire wealth. Back in the day we could not drink from the same fountain as other people. Back in the day we couldn't walk on the same side of the street. Now today, in the 21st century, here in the year 2018, we can do those things. We can do those things. And the reason why we can do those things is because of great people that came before us. Great people that came before us. Okay? Now, you know something, I was thinking about this last night. If you should look back on some of those those movies, those clippings of black people who struggle, of black people who fight, let's say in the early 20th century, 1900, right? If you look keenly, a matter of fact, late 1800, if you look keenly, there is always out there in the foreground some white person, some white or Cajun person, some white man or white woman or white family who assists the black race or the black struggle. No. This is something key to note what a lot of people don't talk about. If you should look back in history, and if you should look at some of our great leaders, some of our ancestors, and you should look at certain clips, footage of the struggle, and even when the story is being told, you can see or you will recognize for a fact that even during the time of white supremacy, there was the oppressor or certain fraction of the oppressive race who still recognize and show love to the black man and the black woman and his child, right? Yeah, it came to me last night as an epiphany. No, I've been seeing it for some time, but I think this is something I need to talk about. Again, even during white supremacy, there are certain people. Now, look, I'm not massaging the old white supremacy argument and nothing like that. I'm not. But the reason why I brought it up is just when we look at our ancestors. What are these? Our ancestors, our black ancestors, our black heroes, our black elders, people who fought and died for the black masses. A few of them, some point throughout their life, recognize that the fight that they are fighting is much more bigger or greater than just a racial issue. They recognize that, oh, this is much more than being black. This is much more than being of African descent. This is a human rights issue. And a lot of the greats that are no longer with us fight. Look, they started from a civil rights, or they started from a racial point of view. Follow what I'm saying? They start from a real. It's because the fact that what propels them into the whole activism movement or the whole civil rights, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that the race itself, the black race, was being oppressed, was being maimed, was being evil was being rendered onto the black masses. So they started from that point. That's the starting point into the whole movement. But for some of them, they recognize that certain atrocities that was being rendered was not only rendered on the black man, but on human being, period. Be black, white, whatever color you want to put yourself. You see what I'm saying? And the fight on that issue. So what am I saying? Our founding fathers, our heroes, our ancestors. Yes, we recognize them as being black. We recognize them of being African descent. We recognize them because we can identify with them from a cultural, a racial point of view. But we are still saying the fight that the modernized ones, that the one in the the few that a few of them fight, it had was to do not only about the race, the black race and the black massive, but mankind, human rights. Who are we talking about when we talk about our Easter? When you look, another key point to note, these eras right here, they did greatness. They performed miracles. I would call it miracles. In a time when you would expect they would fold their hands, sit down, cry, and go hide themselves in some bushes or mountain. They stood up. They stood tall. They say, here am I. I am a man and I'm a woman. Recognize that shit. And they fought on that level, on that plateau, on that platform. And when they fought and when they speak, they turn their head to the mountains, to the hills, to the sky, and they speak. And they don't speak within the water in the mouth. They make the oppressor of the day understand. That is the reason why. And I said, look, I said on this program already, and I say it again. If these ancestors should get up out of the grave and walk the earth and see these so-called leaders of today, more so black leaders, I honestly think that they would just turn back around and go in that goddamn grave and say, no, I won't see that crap. Let me go back to my grave thinking that we were oppressed and we're still fighting for that freedom. Yeah, I honestly, look, who we talking about? Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Nanny from the Maroon, Paul Bo, Nanny from the, look, for those of you who don't know the history, man, I don't know who the Maroons are. The Maroons, if Nanny from the Maroon should come out right now and see these so-called black leaders who a lot of them have so much power, and recognize the fact that what she would be seeing here today is the same thing that she was fighting for back on the island of Jamaica, back in the Caribbean, back in the 1700s. She would be like, what the hell? And I honestly think, look, every single one of them, I think they would go back in the grave and say, man, no, this is a, you see? Nanny from the Maroon, Paul Bogle, Fred Hamilton, Maurice Bishop, Malcolm X, Carter G. Wilson, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Sankara, Samuel Mackell, Bookman Juti, Toussaint Louverture, Jack Dessalines. If these black warriors, man, let me tell you something, man. There is not one among us today, family. And again, I could be wrong, you know. Somebody, look, if I'm if I'm wrong, if anybody out there think I'm wrong about this point, tell me. I'm saying there is not one among us today that okay, let me say it this way. There is not one out there or among us today that I, Anthony Brown, the host of The Proven Truth, let me do it that way, can point to or refer to, be it male or female, and say, God damn, there you go. There goes somebody who is championing the cause of the black massive. Or there goes somebody who is championing the cause of human rights. You know, there's not one that we can point to right now and say, man, let me add something to it. Who is not only doing it for the cameras, for mainstream media, but they speak about that genuine love and concern even behind closed doors. You see what I'm saying? They speak about that genuine love and concern even behind closed doors. That's what I'm talking about. When you check the history books, all of our ancestors right here, all of them, Marcus Garvey, Nanny Bogle, all of them, they speak about freedom, emancipation, the love for self and others, even when they in the bed or when they by the they speak. And the history book tells that. You see what I'm saying? Tell you that. They don't and not only that, but the action prove it too. The actions. Nowadays we have so-called black leaders. We live in the Guardian territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. We have so-called black leaders and the city council. We have so-called black leaders in all branches of government and the judiciary, executive and legislative branch. Oh, these so-called weak-ass, no-good, self-serving bastards, what are they doing? What are they doing? They are only there to elevate themselves to higher office and for a financial gain. That's it. That's it, man. That's what we have to deal with today, in today's time. That's what we have to deal with. And you know why they do it, family? For a lot of them, it's about greed. And look, greed can be a good thing. Greed can be a good thing in the private sector. In the private sector, greed can be a good thing. Understand this. What do I mean? When you go out there as a small entrepreneur and you start a business, right? You start a business, you, because of that element, because that element of greed, you're gonna want to work hard. Let's say you open a barber shop, a barber shop, and here you have your barber shop over here, and over there you have another barber shop. Now you're doing your thing. You're cutting here, you know what I mean. You're doing your, you know what I mean. You're cutting it here. You're doing your little facial and stuff, right? But because you have a element of greed, which again in the private sector can be a good thing, because what greed in the private sector gonna propel or gonna cause you to do is to work harder, to invest more, and to just to blow yourself up. So you're gonna go there, you're gonna say, okay, man, look, I got one barber chair, I need 2 barber chairs inside this crap, inside this shop, right? And I need, maybe you put a coffee maker inside there, you put 2 extra TVs, and things, because you want to get more people, you want to get more customer, right? So you implementing certain policies, taking certain action, right? Because you want to achieve more financially. So out there in the private, and you can take that one example and apply it, to many different scenarios out there in the private sector. So out there in the private sector, an element or a component of greed is good, and it must be like that, because it's competitive, so it's okay. It's like a dog eat dog way. It's capitalistic. It's a capitalistic system out there we're facing with. So an element of greed is good. Not in the Guardian public sector. Not in government. In government, you ain't need to be greedy, because you're not doing anything in government on your own will or your own behalf. Follow what I'm saying? In government, you came to us, the people, and you beg us for a job, and we say, okay, here's a job, Mr. Judge, here's a job, Mr. Mayor, here's a job, Mr. City Council person, here's a job, Mr. Governor. And we outline to you in our contract where your salary going to be, where your term in office going to be, what you can and cannot do. He ain't agreed. You're supposed to be there because you have a burning desire to work or to work on our behalf. That's what you. Where's the greed? That is the reason why you cannot call it greed. It's corruption. That is the reason why. Look, let me ask you this, my brothers and sisters. Let me ask you this question. Here you have someone who, before they enter into public office, right, didn't have a goddamn dime to the name, right? They barely eating on a day-to-day level. Didn't have a dime to the name, you know, right? Now they come to we the people to put them into public office, and we did. We said, go ahead. And within a year or 2 years in public office, he or she is a millionaire. Huh? 4 years, 6 years, they are a multi-millionaire. How the hell did you get all the millions of dollars within that short period of time when we the people regulate what your salary would be? Huh? How did you accumulate so much wealth? It's not because of greed. Understand the concept, my family? Look, this is common sense, you know. Again, unproven truth, that's what we do. That's what we encourage. We encourage critical thinking and the implementation of common sense. That's it. Nobody no big credential. Look, I got a big credential behind my. I don't want a big. Look. The credentials what I have, right, don't afford me to think how I'm thinking right now. I was thinking how I'm thinking way before I get my credentials. You see what I'm saying? The way I'm thinking right now. Look, I ain't knocking nobody with their credentials, you know. But what I'm saying, you got people out there with credentials from whatever institution, right? And they can only process, they can only think according to the credentials. They can only think according to the institutionalized indoctrination. No, I put that crap to the side and I think the way, oh my God intended me to think. My God said, look, let me give you some senses. Smell, taste, hearing, seeing. Man, look, I'm having too much fun with this crap, man. This is supposed to be illegal for one man to have so much fun. You in government. No, once you in government, once you are a so-called elected official, there is no such thing as greed, or there cannot be no such word as greed. There is not one single elected official that we the people that we the people put in office who is greedy. No, they ain't greedy. There is not one. Look, in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, there is not one greedy elected official. No, not one. What you have is corrupted elected officials. Hence, politicians. You feel me? You can't be greedy. There is no competitiveness in your in the office that you hold. There is none. There is no competitiveness in the office that you hold. It's greed. No? Caught myself. It's corruption. It's what? It's corruption. Now, you know, we're gonna show you. We're gonna show you. What did we title this show today? Well, we have two different we have different title out there and different media sources because we're trying to attract certain different audience, you know. But on the Facebook, we the people provide for them a revenue stream. That's the one we're going with. That's the one we're going with. My Facebook family, my YouTube family. We the people provide for them. Who is them? Government officials. A revenue stream. It was 2 Saturdays ago. I attended a function. At that function was who? Errol Criminal G. Williams, the person calling himself the tax assessor in the city of New Orleans. And I was informed that he was going to be there. Now, I've been corresponding with this criminal imposter since 2014. Listen to me carefully. Since 2014 or 2013, right? And I went there at City Hall on the 4th floor in his office 4 or 5 times. And he hid. He wouldn't come out to speak with me. He refrained from coming out to speak to someone who put him in public office. He sent his cronies or his assistants to come out and try to bullshit me. Here it is. Now, out there in John Public, there was nowhere for him to run or hide. So I went there and I sit. Man, I couldn't stay still for more than 2 minutes. I thought it was 2 minutes. I hear that bastard talking and my body was just in flames. I was like, oh, what the? I was in flames. So I posed a question. I posed a couple questions. After I hear he made mention about some constitutional amendment that's going to be on the ballot for 2020 that if passed would authorize this criminal or authorize him to impose a 50% property tax onto the back of the people of New Orleans. Man, you know your brother couldn't sit still. I was hype. Look, I don't think if I was smoking that weed or taking, what they call it, what white people take, androids, no, opioids, I would be that high. I'm telling you. So I pose a question to him and he's giving me the brush off. I said, you criminal bastard. Look, I am not afraid of no man nor no woman. I was born a man. 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 mouth, 2 ears, just like any other man. If I call anybody sitting here in the comfort of the studio, if I use any adjective to describe anybody here in the comfort of the studio, in front of that person's face, I'll use the same goddamn adjective to which I did. I say, you're a criminal bastard, Mr. Williams. You have been a criminal. You have been collecting money for the past 30 years. You're criminal. Then him, oh, no more this word. And him trying to wiggle himself. But during that time, he called me. He tell the audience. It was a group of people. It wasn't no more than 15. But this is what he said. Oh, that's Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown is a tax protester. He called me, Errol G. Williams called me a tax protester. Let me read something to you from Wikipedia. You can go and Google yourself. Maybe get a different version, but it's going to be similar. Listen. A tax protester is someone who refuses to pay a tax, claiming that the tax laws are unconstitutional or otherwise invalid. Period. Tax protesters are different from tax resistors who refuse to pay a tax as a protest against the government or its policies, not out of a belief that a tax law itself is invalid. So, if we should acknowledge or recognize what Mr. Errol G. Williams called me, Errol G. Williams being the person who is sitting in the Orleans Parish Tax Assessor's office, when he called me a tax protester, and if we should take this Wikipedia definition to be a precedent, or to be the authority, then I would be someone who refused to pay a tax, claiming that the tax laws are unconstitutional or otherwise invalid. No, my brothers and sisters, for all of you out there in Radio Land, or wherever you are, who know me, or who hear me speak, or who see any of my literatures, or any of my writings, have any of you ever can point to or can make the argument that I have ever said that the taxes are unconstitutional? Any type of tax? Can anyone out there? Well, let me answer that goddamn question. No. Look, don't believe the hype from Errol G. Williams, Etlin Sims, that criminal judge, call herself a judge, or anybody else. I'm telling you, I'm not a tax protester. I'm not anti-government, right? I'm not anti-government. I recognize the fact. Look, I tell you every day, man. We create government, we the people. They work for us. They are our employees. I know that. Article 1, Section 1 of the Louisiana Constitution outline the original. I know that. I'm the boss. I love being a boss. I really do. I sit back and I call my employees. I say, look, come here, Mr. Williams, or whoever it is. I need to speak to you. I love being a boss. I love it. You understand? So, the argument of Anthony Brown being is false and it's fierce. I love having, look, government as we created was supposed to be this goddamn small, limited, with limited jurisdiction. That is the reason why we have the Constitution, to bind the hands of government. We tell them, we outline in the Constitution what they can and cannot do. No. I love the fact that we have an established government. I love that. So, and let me tell you the reason why. For those so-called clowns out there who saying otherwise. When I am traveling on the road with my family, going to wherever we're going, that's our business, I want to ensure that we can get from point A to point B in a safe and secure manner. You understand? So, I, as one of the bosses, institute and love this entity, what we call government, because government, we give them, we delegate to them certain responsibility to make the goddamn road safe and to regulate certain activities on the road. So while I'm there in my Mercedes Benz, no, no family, no. Your boy ain't got a Mercedes Benz. Look, I ain't got a Mercedes Benz. I drive I drive a couple of vehicles. One of them, the vehicle that I drive is more often is a 2004 Ford van. Okay, no come knock on my door for nothing. I ain't got a Mercedes Benz. So we want to make certain that while we traveling with our family, okay, these other people out there that's using the public road for a financial gain don't recklessly cause us any harm. Government, we institute government. So there are certain things that we institute government to do for us. Okay? We love government. We love government. So that argument right there is moot. We're having too much fun in this. That argument right there, my brothers and sisters, is moot. We love government. Now, let's go into the next part of the equation. When these people come to us and ask us to put them into public office, we recognize the fact that, look, we must provide for them and their family. Because, again, we're bosses. That's what bosses do. We employ people and we take care of families. Okay? So we say to them, clowns, we say, look, you want to be the governor? Okay, your salary can be 110,000 a year. You want to be the city council? Your family can be 80-something thousand a year. You want to be a judge? We tell them what their salary can be. It's a lucrative look. They ain't get chump change. A lot of them elected officials, we are getting more salary and more money than we the people. A lot of us out here ain't making more than, for some people, look, young people out here ain't making dime, bro. So we put them into office and we regulate their pay and a lot of other stuff, right? We give them a revenue stream. I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. But I just want to debunk this clown Errol G. Criminal Williams calling me a tax protester. I never ever make the statement that the property tax is unconstitutional. I will never say that. I'm not no dummy. I'm no buffoon. I'm no idiot. I'm not stupid. No. What he's trying to do is to twist it so that people out there who are misinformed can jump on his bandwagon. Right? In the Constitution, family, when it comes on to taxes, Article 7 of the Louisiana Constitution deals with, let's go to it, man. Teaching time. Check this out. Your brother Anthony Brown putting on his teacher's cap. Hey, look. Yeah, we do that sometimes. Look, sometimes I'm a doctor. Sometimes I'm a daddy. Sometimes I'm a chef. I got kids. Sometimes I wear different hats sometimes. You feel me? Now today I'm a teacher. Man, it's crazy, man. Let's get some more wisdom right here real quick. Boy, this is some good, man, look, it's some good water, family. Cheers. All right. Article 7 of the Louisiana Constitution deals with revenue and finance. Revenue and finance. Okay? This is what Section 1 of Article 7 says. Power to tax. Public purpose. Listen carefully now. For that criminal imposter Errol G. Williams, who stand up in front of the audience 2 Saturdays ago telling people, oh, he's a tax protester. You dumbass bastard. Except as otherwise provided by this Constitution, the power of taxation shall be vested in the legislator. In who? Hold on. I know you guys never catch that. So let rewind. except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, which there is no exception nowhere else in the Constitution. Take my word for it. Or you can go and search it yourself. The power of taxation shall be vested. You know the word vested mean? Go check it. In the legislature. Which body that? That's one branch of government, right? The legislative body. So the power to tax, the taxation power comes from where? The who? Local government? No. Judiciary? No. Exit? No. The where? The legislative body. Check this out. Shall never be surrendered, comma. Surrendered? Never be surrendered? Suspended. So hold on it. You can't surrender it, you can't suspend it. Okay. Or contracted away. So hold on it. And shall be exercised for public purpose only. The first section of Article 7 in and of itself is a bombshell to the entire article itself. That is the foundation on which the whole article is based. One body, one group of people have the power to tax we the people, or the authority, one, the legislative body, and they cannot will it, contract it, they can't do nothing. They have to keep that authority to themselves, because we the people delegate them to legislate that part of it. Okay? Understand that concept. Look, man, look, that concept is a pronoun. It's a unique concept to gravitate to. Man, that concept. So right after the bat, if you keep that in the back of your mind, you can proceed through the rest of the article on a solid foundation on which you can base any argument. Now, let's read. Hold on. Okay, that was section 1A. Section 1B, the power to tax may not be exercised by any court in the state, either by ordering the levy of a tax. Look, family, we here on the Proven Truth urge, recommend, and encourage our fellow New Orleans to get a copy of the Constitution. Yes, it's a big document. You don't have to dissect it all at once. You can take, look, it took us 3 years. It took us 3 years to go through this document, and the truth about it, even now, when we look at this document, there is things that's been revealed to us that we miss. And when we do certain checks with other documents, because there's one thing, look, there's something key about this document, you know. This is the 13th, I think. I don't quote me on that. But there's something key about this document. It makes reference to certain other documents. That is key. Now, this is what it's saying to you. It first, Article 7 lays out the basis, and it tells you who, what branch of government can tax, and the fact that they cannot give that tax, that functionality away to no other entity, group, or person. It says, shall never be surrendered, suspended, contracted away, or, and shall never be, well, 4 things: surrendered, suspended, and contract it away. 3 things. You can't do it. But you're gonna see, and again, bear that in mind. You're gonna see further down in Article 7 what it is that can be taxed. What it is. When that criminal imposter Errol G. Williams called me a tax protester, and when we look to Wikipedia, that's one source, and when it outlined to us that is someone who refused to pay a tax, claiming that is, and look, paying a property tax, let me say it so that John Public can hear and understand from the horse's mouth. Paying a property tax is not unconstitutional. Paying a property tax is not unconstitutional. We the people encourage, endorse, and authorize the legislative body, and to the extent that they delegate any power, because that's what Errol G. Williams is doing. He is exercising a delegated power. You want to read section 1 to you again? For those of you who didn't get it? He is exercising. That's the reason why when I sued that criminal bastard in federal court, I also sue the Louisiana Tax Commission. Follow me now, people. Follow what I'm saying carefully. I just read section 1 to you again, and for those who miss it, I can go back over it. Errol G. Williams is exercising a delegated power. That power comes through the Home Rule Charter. Here it is. You're gonna see. Now, you know what it? You can only tax certain properties. Those properties that you can tax are we the people no. The Guardian Constitution authorize. Must have certain things in common. Must have certain things in common. One of the main things that they must be have in common is that there must be some activity, some commercial activity going on with that entity, with that piece of property, or that business, that property. Let's look, family. I hope you guys have in front of you you copy the Constitution. Go and pull a copy of that bill that Errol G. Williams sent out to you annually. That bill that he refers to as the your property tax bill. Go and pull that bill real quick. And while you pull that bill, I'm going to refer to section 18 of Article 7 of the Constitution. What section 18 part 2 speak about is property taxation. Listen to me carefully now, for all of you legal scholars out there, for all of you so-called judges out there. What's her name? Division N, Hetlin Sims. You're blackcasting to go back at whichever school you went to forget your law degree. Section 18 part 2, property taxation. What type of tax is talking about? Ad valorem tax. Let's read section 18, family. Assessment. Property subjected to ad valorem taxation shall be listed on the assessment roll at its assessment value. Now, Look, I'm gonna be what they call a broken record. I'm gonna continue on this show to be what is known as a broken record, because I'm gonna keep on repeating myself. I'm gonna keep on repeating myself so that for those of you who take some time to understand will understand. Ad valorem tax, section 18A, assessment. So the first prerequisite is an assessment. The first prerequisite to that piece of property that carries with it a ad valorem. Again, they use tax inside here. Let's work with it for right now. The first prerequisite is that that piece of property must be assessed. Must be assessed. Let's talk about what Errol G. Williams do as the Orleans Parish Tax Assessor. How many of you ever gotten your piece of property assessed by Errol G. Williams? Put your goddamn hand down. Put your hand down. You're lying. Put your hand down, man. You're lying. Errol G. Williams never ever assess that piece of property where you call your home. That piece of property where you go home to after a hard day's work. That piece of property where you raise your family in. Him never. Yes, he did. Hold on then. Okay, well, tell her. Did somebody just say yes, Errol G. Williams assessed the property? Oh. I would love to see that document. No, nobody did say that. Nobody. Errol G. Williams don't assess that piece of property you call your home, and he can never assess that piece of property. He can never. Why? Even though he has been saying it for the past 33 years, it's a lie. The Constitution don't authorize him. And where the Constitution don't give you the authority, you don't have the authority. Now, look, I know for some of you out there hear me talk on this issue, you might like, what the hell is he talking about? Or what the what? Look, away from the fact that away from the fact that I know that I have a God-given right. I have a God-given right, an inalienable right to own and to acquire property. Away from that fact, away from the fact that I know that I have a God-given right to provide a roof over my family's head. Let's put that fact to the side for a minute. Let's go to the content. A matter of fact, let's real quick go to Article 1 of the Constitution, Section 4. Let me read that for you. For those of you who think that an elected official or any elected official, to include Errol G. Williams, can just come and take your property or levy a tax or claim to levy a proper ad valorem tax on it and take it because you don't pay that bill. You're a goddamn dummy. Listen to this. Article 1, Section 4. Rights to property. Listen. Every person has the right to acquire, own, control, use, enjoy. You see much thing you have the right to do? Oh my God, this is crazy. Protect. Let me tell you something. Let me tell all of you something to include Mr. Errol G. Williams. I, Anthony Brown, didn't need a constitution to tell my black ass that I have the right to protect my piece of property, and I'll do that to the bitter goddamn end. Check that. Protect and dispose of private property. Did you catch that?
Oh, okay.
Let me read it fast. Let me read it one more time for you. This is the law, family. You see? Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah.
Every person, did it say this? Did it say one person or two person or that group of person? It says every person. When talking about person, we're talking about it. Talking about individually. Go back to section 1 of the Constitution. It talks about the individual rights. Man, we got goddamn people in public office. We have people in public office. We need to kick them out. They have no right to be in public office. They are still to be out there in the private sector struggling like everybody else. Every person has the right to acquire, own, control, use, enjoy, protect, and dispose of private property. This right is subjected to a reasonable statutory restriction and the reasonable exercise of the police power. B1. Property shall not be taken or damaged by the state or its political subdivision. Did you hear that? What's the state political subdivision? The city, the municipal corporation of New Orleans. It is telling we the people. No. Let's back up. Again. We the people know this already. We the people are fully aware of what's in this document. This document wasn't meant for we the people. This document was meant for them, politicians, elected officials, and our branch of government. That's what this was made for. When, you know something, I think I'm going to champion a cause now. I think we need to put on the ballot. I think we need to put on the ballot a constitutional amendment that would allow or that would enforce as a requirement. We should put on the ballot a requirement that every single elected official, every single person that runs for public office and win or is elected to public office should sign, just like when they sign the oath of office and the ethics thing, should sign that they receive or that they are in possession of a copy of the Constitution. I think that's something, you know something, you see? I think that's something I'm going to champion. Because if these people would take this document and read through this document, a lot of them would recognize that certain things that they are doing, and again, family, as I said before, it's not greed. There is no such thing as a greedy politician. You cannot have that. You can only have greed in the private sector. What we have when you come on to elected official is corruption. A corrupt politician. That's what we have. You cannot, the element of greed, there is no competition when you come on to elected official. There's none. Let's go back to section 4. It is telling, so this constitution right here is telling Harold G. Williams, Mitch Landry, well, no, not Mitch Landry, that criminal bastard ain't here no more, Latoya Cantrell, and all of them, that look, property shall not be taken or damaged by the state, Louisiana, or its political subdivision, City of New Orleans, except except for public purpose and with just compensation paid to the owner. Let's stop right here. Let's dissect that little piece right here. This is what we're telling them. We are saying, look, you can't take our property, and the only reason that could trigger you to take our property, it must be for public purpose. What we're talking about? We're talking about public purpose. Out there where I reside, in New Orleans East, we are lacking a lot of things out there. When it comes on to this, a whole lot. The East was one of the last places to be developed after post Katrina. But let's say we need an emergency hospital out there, or let's say we need something like a school or something that would benefit the public at large. They could come and say, look, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of property because we want to build, let's say, a hospital. Let's use the hospital for right now. They could say, look, we need to build a hospital out here in New Orleans East, and we need some property to do that. And we think that this area right here would be a good area to build a hospital so that it would benefit everybody else. They're going to come to the people that own those property or those homes and say, look, we know that this is your property, we know that, and you've been living here for years, but we are looking at the bigger picture right now. There is no hospital right here, there is no pumping station right here, there is no utility right here, so we need to put whatever it is on this piece of property. However, we're going to pay you. You see? Compensation paid to the owner or into court for his benefit. So, the so-called municipal corporation, the government, must come to you, outline to you that this is what they want to do, and they must pay you for your property so that you can then take that money, that resources, and go somewhere else. Did it say anywhere inside here that they can take your property and don't pay you or kick you out, leave you homeless? Well, look, maybe I'm blind, maybe I have cataract, so somebody can show it to me. Let's read some more. Section 20. You see, this is what I'm talking. Family, look. When you go through this document, again, this document outlines what they can and cannot do. It's sheer corruption, not greed. Don't confuse greed with corruption. It is sheer corruption. Why we have people here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, losing the property to a for-profit corporation, or through a for-profit corporation, civicsource.com, with the blessings of elected officials here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. It is sheer corruption. It is sheer corruption why we are creating a homeless population here in New Orleans, Louisiana. It is not greed, it's corruption. We outline to these corrupted politicians in the contract. This is their contract, family. This is the contract that they signed with us, and they swear to us an almighty God. They swear to us an almighty God. Look in article in Article 10, Section 30. You will see it. They put one hand on the Bible, one hand in the ear, and say, I do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and its law, and the Constitution and the law of this territory, so help me God. So help me God. They signed the contract with we the people, creating a fiduciary duty. They signed it. When you go to Article 7, I'm not going to go through it right now. When you go through Article 7, you will see certain things that we the people allow them to generate a revenue. Look, family, I love you. I love you all. And I'm going to, look, this right here, this right here, this document right here is a bill from Entergy, okay? From Entergy. From Entergy. Errol G. Williams called me a tax protester. I read the definition for tax protester to you a while ago. And this Entergy bill, let's run through some of the taxes that I pay. Electric basic rate charge, 43. Formula rate plan, storm sanitation costs, recovery rider, capacity acquisition costs, fuel and purchase power costs, street like when you drive on, use franchise fee. I'm paying for that. So I'm paying tax. So this company, Entergy, who is a for-profit company, can drive on the public street as a franchisee to put power out there. City sales tax, CIT. So I, as a public resident, is paying the city of New Orleans a sales tax. It's on my bill. Okay, let's look at this one. I just paid, when was it, yesterday? Look, let's look at this one. You see this small clip here, meaning I just paid this bill from a listening from a listening audience. I got with me right here a couple of bills that I pay on a month-to-month basis. Right? Here we have sewage and water board. Here we have sewage and water board. And this is some of the tax that your brother pay to sewage and water board without any resistance. Even though I am wondering, you're gonna hear, I'm wondering, like when I look at this one right here. Safe drinking water fee. What the hell? Listen to this. Ready to use water for 5/8" meter. Right? That's a fee that I pay. $7.18. Ready to use, ready to serve water, right? So the meter, you're paying for the meter. I'm paying for the meter. Water usage. I'm paying for water usage. Okay? Now, not only that I'm paying for water usage, check out this tax right here. Safe drinking water. So, wouldn't you expect that while this utility company put water onto your premises, the water must be safe for drinking? That's supposed to be automatic, right? No. You have to pay them a special tax or additional amount of money. So that mean if you don't pay them this safe drinking water fee, the water that they put into your premises can be unsafe. And look, listen to me. Sewage water. So these are taxes. Let's look at the next bill. Cox communication. Would I forgot to them item by item, itemized? But you can see, and look, on all of these bills, the city of New Orleans, a matter of fact, not only city, but the state, you have a state sales tax. So when you pay these bills, you're sending money to the state, you're sending money to the city, and on some of these bills, the country too. Here we have a country tax, a federal excise tax, and a city tax. Yeah. But even though some of these taxes on its face sound ridiculous, can anyone out there who knows or hear me talking for years ever make any complaint against any of these taxes? No. Why I don't? Because the Constitution authorized them to impose a tax on certain activity out there in commerce. That is constitutional, family. It is. It's constitutional. The fact that the municipal corporation, the fact that Herald Criminal Imposter Williams is imposing an Avalon property tax on the place you call your own, it's not greed. He's not a greedy person. What he is and the municipal corporation is corrupted person. We have corrupted people in public office. That's what that is. Why? Because they are fully aware that what they are doing is legally wrong. It's wrong. They know that there is no authority. Let's go to that again. Look, I'm coming to you straight from the law. No, I didn't go to the institution of higher learning. I'm not a member of the Bar Association. I'm somebody who is using common sense and critical thinking. I'm one of the people of Louisiana. I'm one of the people of Louisiana. I'm going to the document to which every single elected official supposed to be quoting and abiding by. Every single elected official in the territory of Louisiana swear to uphold and abide by this document. Family, understand what I'm saying? That's why it's such an important document. Every single elected official who is receiving a salary from we the people told us before they start to occupy their office that they make a promise, they sign the contract. Here it is. Now they are in public office, they are violating the contract, they breached the contract. They did. They breached the contract. And why did they breach the contract? Or why are they breaching the contract? Because a lot of this money, a lot of this property that they are robbing from us, look, they are just common thieves. That's what they are. They are common criminals. That's what they are. with a title in front of the name, call themselves honorable. When you take, look, go look in title 4 of the 14 of the revised statute, and you will see. It's not my words. What the hell do I know about law? When you take something that you have no authority to take, you're a thief. When you take something that you have no authority to take, you're a thief. Look, I just read it for you in Article 1, Section 4.
No.
I just read it for you. We have the right to own, acquire, and secure, and defend. That's important, defend. That's what I'm doing, I'm defending minds. And hopefully, in defending minds, I will help somebody to defend theirs. Look, let me tell you something. You see the founding fathers of the United States Constitution? These guys were some genius. The founding fathers of the United States Constitution were some genius. You know what the First Amendment is? The First Amendment to the United States Constitution, listen. The First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establish of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. What that mean? So Congress can't tell nobody who their God is or who to worship, right? Or abridge the freedom of speech. So Congress, and if Congress can't do it, nobody in Louisiana can do it. Nobody in Louisiana can tell Anthony Brown what to say. As long as what I'm saying don't cause a panic or cause harm to anybody else. So I'm not going to be in this room right here and have other people inside here and shout fire when I know it is no fire. Because if I can shout fire and it can cause a stampede and somebody get hurt, right? But away from that, once I'm spitting the truth, nobody can tell me shit. Or of the press, or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. That's the first thing. So, what these guys said, you have a right to speak, and you have a right to call upon government to do right, to redress. Right? What was the Second Amendment? What is the Second Amendment? So, if they deny you that right, what do? You go to number 2. What is number 2? The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's number 2. The founding fathers tell you, there's gonna come a time when you need to fight. There's gonna come a time when you need to bear arms, when you need to fight. You lazy bastard. You think freedom is free? In imposing that ad valorem tax, that corrupted criminal should have read Article 7, Section 18B. Not only him, all of them. Section 18B of the Louisiana Constitution, Article 7, reads as follows. Here it's going to outline, listen to me carefully, my family. It is going to outline for you the classification. What did I say? The classification, or another word, the group properties that is subjecting. Look, what the word subjected means. If there's an element of subjection, that means there's also an element of non-subjection too, right? If something is imposed, that means if certain group or certain things is there's certain if there's a requirement, that means there must be, that means it can only relate to a certain group or class, right? If there's a requirement. Once there's a requirement, once there's an element of requirement, what does that mean? Somebody talk to me, man. While I take a sip of water. God damn, some good water, man. Look, this water comes from the springs, not from the same faucet like a lot of you guys. Area of the law is telling us that in section B, it's classifying, it's classification. The classification of properties, listen, subjected to ad valorem taxation. That means it's not everything like what Herald Criminal G. Williams tell you is subjected to ad valorem taxation, and it couldn't be. Did you all catch that? Let me go through it again. Section 18, paragraph B, Louisiana Constitution, Article 7, classification. The classification of property subjected to ad valorem taxations and the percentage of their fair market value applicable to each classification for the purpose of determining assessed valuation are as follows. So now it's going into the classification, and one prerequisite or one element is subjected to. So if something is subjected to, that's a prerequisite. That's a requirement. Certain properties must be subjected to the ad valorem process. And once you have that element or that requirement of subjection, that means we're not speaking about every single property in the territory of New Orleans. You dumbass bastard, Herald G. Williams. Go read. Now, let's look on the law and let's look on the classification. Under classification, this is what we got. Land, L-A-N-D, improvements for residential purpose. 2, 3, electric cooperative properties. Now let's back up. Let's go back up to number 2. Improvement for residential purpose. Family. When you receive that annual bill from the city of New Orleans, that annual bill of the word on it, well, it reads City of New Orleans, firstly, not your name and your address. It means so it's a City of New Orleans property tax bill. Then the next thing it mentioned is a ad valorem tax bill. What you're supposed to be doing there and then is to ask yourself what a ad valorem is. I did. And again, it took us 3 years. It took us 3 years to go through all the documents to combine all the information and to figure it out how it is written in the law. Because we start from the premise that there is nowhere in hell that we could be asked to pay a ad valorem tax, our duty, and our piece of property, the place we call our home. There is nowhere in hell that's feasible, that's right, and that's just to the point where we can lose it, or to the point where we have people here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, losing their property like crazy. So we went ahead, and the first document we went for was the contract document. We went and we found the contract document. Then we came to this page on the contract. And what did we see? We saw the word ad valorem tax. So like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Come on, Matlock, let's do this. Then we start to recognize certain things, certain prerequisites that must be imposed before this ad valorem, or that before we can be classified or subjected to this ad valorem tax. And once we dissect this document, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, without even using common sense right now, we put common sense on the shelf here a little bit, and we just going through the contract document. And the first thing we come across is the fact that the property must be subjected to the ad valorem process. The first thing. So now we put down the contract, we go back on the shelf, we take back common sense, and we start to approach this thing from a common sense point of view. If the document says, if the contract says you must be subjected to the ad valorem tax, then now we start to think, we ask ourselves, okay, are we subjected? So we need to find out, because it is a possibility we could be subjected to the ad valorem tax that's in the contract. So what did we do? We put common sense back on the shelf, then we go to the contract again. When we look in the contract, we see that one element or a prerequisite is that the property in question must be assessed. You know, so we find all of these, so hold up. Who should be assessing this property? It couldn't be us, we know if you are fact, because it's our property. And the only reason we would be assessing our property is if we're going to be putting our property out there on the market, out there in commerce. So we would want to get what you call a property value, or a comparison of what other property is selling for, so we can then put our property out there for the same price, maybe a little higher or maybe a little lower. So using common sense again, we said, no, it couldn't be us. It couldn't be this assessment what they're talking about here in the contract couldn't apply to us. So we say, okay, put common sense back on the shelf, we go back to the contract, because we need to know who must do the assessment. Now, let me tell some of your brothers and sisters something. You won't find who in this document. You got to go to another document, And that's how they babulate you. That's how they confuse and trick you. That's how they wear you out. Right? So, but we recognize, after doing our due diligence, our search, who's supposed to do the assessment? That criminal bastard Errol G. Williams. Alright? No. Then we ask ourselves the question, after we recognize that fact, did Errol G. Williams or any member of the municipal corporation ever assess our property? We have no documentation to that fact. We have no documentation to the fact. Errol G. Williams, now nobody else from the body politic, give us a document, a signed document, showing us or informing us that they did an assessment on our property. We never get, look, we don't care, look, we don't care about any documents. Look, if a document one ain't signed, it ain't legal. If you should go to Title 26, US Title 26, the IRS, they tell you about assessment. That's a whole totally different study right now in the game, or ball game of this whole thing. But just take my word for it, or you do your own research. We recognize that there was no assessment done, 1, 2. 2, the property to which they are sending us this Avalarum bill, that property in and of itself is not subject to the Avalarum bill. Right? Tax. When we go through the classification of property, right? Listen carefully, and you're going to see the properties to which that Avalarum bill is subjected to. So it tells you these properties right here: public service properties, excluding land, other properties. Then on the next side of the contract, it gives you the amount, the percentages. Okay? Listen to this. Okay, let's back up to section 18, paragraph 2. Which, except as provided in paragraph C and G, shall be a percentage of the fair market value. When you go down to section C, this is what it says. Use value. Listen to the property with use value. Bona fide agricultural, historical, marsh and timberland as defined by general law shall be assessed for tax purposes. Did somebody say gunshot? At 10% of use value rather than fair market value. The legislator may provide by law similar for buildings of historical architectural purpose. That's C. Let's go to D. Valuation. Now look, C is what? Use purpose. And it tells you the property, right? Does your property fall under this category? Bona fide field agriculture. You know what? Look. Agricultural, historical, marsh, and timberland as defined by general law. Is that any of your property out there? Let's go to D. Valuation. So this property is a property that they evaluate, or maybe they assess. Let's see. Each assessor, so okay, the word assessor come up right here, right? Let's go. Each assessor shall determine the fair market value of all property subjected, we'll come again, subjected to taxation within his respective parish or district, except public service property, which shall be valued at fair market value by the Louisiana Tax Commission or its assessor. Each assessor shall determine the use value of property which is to be assessed under the provision of paragraph C. Man, god damn, I love this shit. Hey, knowledge is, man, I love it. Let me sip some crystal. Oh, god damn. Hold on there. Hey, no, in all fairness, family, in all fairness, again, the name of this show is The Proven Truth, not The Anthony Brown Show. Okay? The name of this show is The Proven Truth, not The Anthony Brown Show. Now, in all fairness, and again, we are not here to call or degrade anybody because we have a platform to do so. Okay? We recognize when we put people to office, when we put people in seat of authority, in position, we put them there so they will succeed. We put them there because we need them to do a specific job. In all fairness to Mr. Errol G. Williams, in all fairness to Mr. Williams, here is a gentleman who have balls. We are reading from the contract, the Louisiana Constitution. Mr. Williams told us, it's right here in black and white for the world to see. Orleans Parish Assessor's Office, Errol G. Williams, Assessor, 1300 Pardee Street, City of New Orleans, Room 4E01, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70112, February the 23rd, 2016. Mr. Brown, read my address, dear Mr. Brown, and it goes on. But the highlighted section on this document reads, I must inform you that my plate is full and I have no further desire to enter into intellectual debate over the differences of words, the Constitution, or property rights law. This is your goddamn tax assessor. This is a person who you've been giving your money for the past 33 years. This is a person who's bragging about his multi-car garage and his mansion out there in New Orleans. This is a person who you gave a salary to so he could put his daughters to school and colleges and buy his wife all those beautiful dresses and cars that they have. This is a person who signed this contract. So that's why when we read to you and we outline to you, he told us, you have to give him credit. You have to give this criminal credit. He told us he don't give a rat's ass about the Constitution nor property rights law. However, he's still collecting a pension, or he's still collecting money from we the people. When you go through this document, the place that you call your home, the place that you go home to every single night, the place you raise your family, the place you shelter when it is raining, when it's too hot, when it's too cold, you will not find that place inside the contract document. You will not, and you could not, and you will not find it inside the contract document, family. You couldn't. So you gonna tell me, listen how stupid this sounds. Listen how stupid this sounds. You gonna tell me somebody come to your place of business and somebody asks you for a job and you give that person the job and you gonna write in the contract that that person have the authority to come and take your business away from you and kick you out in the street? What kind of dumb bastard are you? What kind of employee are you? What kind of business person are you that you would do such a stupid thing? You're gonna write in a contract that after you employ this person authority and power gonna then supersedes yours? We the people ain't that stupid. There is no way in hell that we the people would put in this contract, would give the authority to neither Mr. Errol G. Williams, that criminal crony Mitch J. Landry, or no other mayor or city council member the authority to kick us out and throw us out of our property without one paying us for it, or without two signing a separate contract with us for it. We wouldn't give them that. Why would we tell them, look, come and take our property, in some cases property that we have in our family, for generations? Why would we tell them to tax that piece of property when that piece of property we only use that? The only thing that go on inside that house, only business that we conduct inside that piece of property is monkey business. That's it. The only thing that we do inside there is for our own personal work and development. At no point in time did that piece of property, we ever put that piece of property what we call our home, our house, out there on the market, out there in commerce, so that nobody else could put their hands on. None. You will not find it into this document. Again, family, just go to this one page and this one page alone. Then, once you go to this one page, then you must put this contract down and use common sense. Common sense. There is nowhere in this document. No, I said it already on this program, and I'll continue to say it. I will be the broken record. Every single word and phrases that's written into law or that will affect we the people must be defined. Must be defined. No, they won't make it easy for you, I can tell you that much. You going to have to go and look and search certain documents. Sometimes you'll be amazed to see where they put the meaning of certain words, or how they try to hide certain information. You'll be amazed to see how they try to hide certain information. But you must take that time for yourself. You must take that time for yourself. And once you start to look at one document, it will point you to another document, or it will force you to go and look in another document, and you will start to find the true hidden secret, the true pearls of what they don't want you to find. When you look on the word avalarum, my family, no, the word avalarum is not excluded or is not marooned to just the United States of America. It's an international word, it's an international term, it's an international phrase. Go look it up for yourself. And what you will find, that the word, follow me, man. You guys spending $100 sending your kids to school. What the hell are you sending a kid to school for? If you yourself won't utilize your goddamn nugget, your brain. Huh? Why are you sending your kids, your sons and daughters to school if you won't teach them to use their own brain as well? How you think your daughters and son gonna excel if they don't look at the written word and interpret it for what it is? The word avalarum can only be applied when it is out there operating in commerce. The origin word or the origin purpose is duty. They misapply, distort, they take away the word duty from the word avalarum and impose the word taxes to trick your dumb ass. Believe me. The word avalarum is a Latin word, a Latin term, a Latin phrase. So you're gonna tell me they take this Latin word, this Latin term, this Latin phrase here in America, and they didn't take its application too? So they take the word and they dump its application? No, that's not true. They took the word and they took its meaning and its application. They took the word, they took the meaning, and they took its application, family. Believe that. Believe that. Believe that. Elderly student 1, 2, 3 bedroom project based voucher waiting lists are open for multiple. Look, somebody just sent me a thing right here. Look, this is what they're doing, man. They're robbing people on one hand. With one hand they're robbing people, and on the other hand they are make it looks like, or it appear like they are doing something. You're gonna rob people at the property, their homes, right? Cause people to become homeless. Then on this hand, you're gonna be giving out vouchers for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, just to make it look like you're concerned about the masses. I don't even want to see this right here, man. I tell the truth. I don't want. Look, they can't trick. Look, they can only trick some of us, not all of us. They can only trick some of us. We never put them in office so that they can put food on our table. No. We did not put elected officials or politicians in office so that they can put food on our table or a roof over our head. No, that's not what we did. We put them in office so we can assist them in doing that for themselves. When we give them the authority to occupy these seats, we give them the authority so that they can put food on their table and a roof over their head, as long as they continue to do our will, our we want to do. Okay? We provide for ourselves. We provide for ourselves. I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see that. But family, look, we are almost here. We are almost here. Look, join us again. Join us here Thursday, same place, same time, family, when we will continue. This is your brother Anthony Brown saying much love.
tell myself there is hope. It seems like the biggest joke. And as I put down the gun, still dollars must run. I know employment can't come. And me a jam and a cool, one go back in a school. The system lick me. There's no hope for those who have not from the slum. Take the little much we have, still hunting we down. I beg you no shut.